Thank you, Lord Mayor. The things that we've heard described so far by the Labour proposers are all pretty nice ideas, but I think we need to be perfectly clear here what exactly this amendment is doing. What this amendment is doing is remortgaging the residence parking zones, and it's spending the money that's been freed up on general taxation issues in the council. Now, the first thing I would say is that I'm actually astonished that this is a legal amendment, because the law is perfectly clear about the revenue streams that come from permit zones. The law is perfectly clear, and it says that they can only be spent on transport issues. The way that they're supposed to work is that ideally they're supposed to be spent on transport issues in the location, or in or around the location of where the parking zone is. But in a city like Bristol, where we've now got a wide central zone, you could argue they could be spent on any transport scheme, and I think that's quite reasonable. But what's going on here is that a transport measure is being transformed into a general tax for the council. Now, this is effectively an accounting trick to get around financial laws. Now, you would think, given what's just happened over the last few years, that the idea of using financial accounting tricks to get around financial laws would have fallen out of favour. You know, things like PFI and tax evasion, and the other things where you get rules worked around by accounting tricks. These are generally a bad thing. But there's an even bigger issue, and that issue is that this council and we politicians have spent 8 years reassuring our residents that parking zones are not a tax. We've said that again and again, every single time we brought in a residence parking zone, 8 years of it. Councillor Bradshaw over there has been saying it for 8 years as well, and I'm surprised that he's comfortable with this amendment. The Mayor has said it repeatedly as well. So this is fundamentally a trust issue. This council's trust is on the line, and this amendment, unfortunately, the things it wants to spend the money on are all very worthy, but this amendment makes liars of us all. Turns this chamber into a chamber of deceit, where we say something continually for 8 years to our residents to persuade them that this is a scheme about transport, and then, with a little bit of a dance, we wash it out of the way and we turn it into an inner city tax. There's no way that we can support this. It's going to damage. Not only is it of dubious legality, but I really think it will damage the reputation of this council if we go ahead with this and throw away what we've been saying to our residents for the last 8 years. It's really not a very good idea, and we will be voting against it.
Councillor Eddy.